Could be scary. Matt is here with us, but we're not talking about Matt's ultimate lifetime dare just yet.
Although sometimes being daring can be associated with some of those family get-togethers at times.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're talking about holiday, family relations. Is Thanksgiving in general a hard time for people when they come together? A lot of conflict goes on?
Yes, hate it. Nothing good about it.
You can't hate it. You're a relationship coach.
I know. You know what? Do you ever just feel like people are looking at you? I can't. This is just bugging me. Good looking though. You know what? Thanksgiving.
We're looking at you in stereo. We got you both like
live. You know, Thanksgiving is a tough one because you're not like, you can move around at Christmas, but at Thanksgiving you're sitting across from each other.
You're stuck.
You know, weird Uncle Al.
You're stuck.
Just got out of the pen. And you get to just hang with him and explain that to your family. Yeah.
For as long as you want to eat, at least,
exactly.
right? Which could
That's
be
why I eat really fast. I always eat before I go to Thanksgiving, just so I don't have to sit there as long.
Just to get out from weird Uncle Al.
It's a good thing.
I understand.
It's a very good thing.
You're not the only one who has some dilemmas. Some of our viewers and some of the folks out there have some questions, so we tracked some of them down. They've got some questions that they're posing to you. Are you ready for these?
I'm ready.
These are holiday relationship rescues, and here's question number 1.
Here's my question for you, Matt. We're going to spend the day with my husband's family on Thanksgiving. I love them, but we don't always get along. What's the best way that we can spend Thanksgiving together and not have any conflict?
Okay, not getting along with the husband's family. That's common.
I call it...
or with the spouse's family, we might add. Just either one of the families. Yes.
Fine. Good clarification.
Not that I needed to add that for any stretch of the imagination.
I call it Chuckarama. Because it's a buffet. You just keep moving. You don't even need to sit. You know, that's a tough one, isn't it? Because a lot of times we don't choose our family, right? And so we get forced with these people. But one of the things I found is ask them about them. When you don't know what to say anywhere, just start getting into someone else. Most people are, you know, into themselves enough that once they start talking about themselves, that might pretty much take care of the day because they'll just keep going. Ask them about themselves, get into them, try to understand them. I mean, to me, that's probably the easiest way to not have to say much, to not have to be there maybe forever. Get them started, get them talking. Move on. Hopefully something good will come.
Okay.
Turn the table. Okay. Change the subject.
Okay. That was question number 2. We got a whole bunch for you. So here's question number... See, that was question 1. This is question number 2.
Hi, Matt. My question for you is, if I'm at the Thanksgiving table and I'm stuck sitting by some relatives that I don't see very often, how do I connect with them and make an instant friendship and come up with things to say with them?
I think this is a good one because some of these people, cousins, maybe extended relatives like aunts and uncles, you don't see at all. Your family, you want to act like you love them, and you do, but you don't know anything about them.
And you haven't connected, so that might be too where we talk about them, get into them a little bit more. Some of it might be you want to plan some things that you can talk about. Like we always go with kind of a few of the great victories we've had in the family lately. Hey, Sarah won this award, or Jake's doing really well at football, and have some things that you can talk about. Another thing that I found works really well are the memories. Start throwing out the memories. Do you remember when Grandma dropped the eggs on the ground and we all picked them up? Everyone starts to feel good about something of the memory.
Is that a memory you have?
No, in fact, I don't want to talk about that. You know what? Memories are great because that's where we are connected. And so if we don't know what to connect about today because I haven't seen you for 20 years, maybe go back to where the times were good. Focus on that. It also gives you something to do and maybe the good warm feeling that we're supposed to feel at Thanksgiving.
Love it. Yeah. Okay.
Hopefully.
And that even works well for people that you maybe haven't done a lot with. But like, what do you remember about Grandma? What were your memories?
Right. What were your favorite memories? Like, I remember the shag. My grandma used to rake the shag carpet.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, when I talk about that with our cousins, we're all like, oh, the shag carpet rake.
And what do you remember about Uncle Al?
Uncle Al, I just remember he held me real close. And
okay.
Anyway.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, that's funny. That's funny.
Sorry, Uncle Al.
Question number 3. Here we go.
All right, Matt, I've got a pretty sensitive question for you here. I've got a family that's very into specific traditions that they've been doing every year, but I want to kind of try something new. So how do I get them to try something new without offending them?
Okay, that's a good one. There's divorce. I don't recommend it. Isn't that a tough one? Because, you know, my family, for example, my wife has a family tradition where they would walk from about the zoo in Salt Lake to Bountiful.
Are
you serious?
I married into that.
On Thanksgiving?
And, yeah. And usually I'd end up being transported by ambulance. But that was a tradition that I didn't even know I was getting into. So how do you change that tradition? You have kids, then someone needs to take the kids, and that was always me. I'll take them.
Nice.
But you know, it's a hard thing. I'd almost maybe start some traditions of your own. Maybe when you start having your own family, maybe spend half the time with their family doing their traditions. Start some other traditions of your own. If they're interesting enough, if they're magnetic enough that they attract people, then you might be able to start incorporating them. There's not an easy way to change traditions that have gone on a long time. In fact, in some regards, I might just try to do my own. Or I might even try to break away. One of the best Christmases we ever had was when we went away. We took our entire family to London through Christmas. And we didn't have to worry about everyone else's traditions. We just escaped for a while. So you might want to opt out one year.
Run away, that's always
Go to another country.
Opt out one year, yeah. Go to another country. But sometimes opting out gives you the chance to start over when you come back a year later or two.
I like that point, though. Maybe not changing the traditions as much as starting your own and kind of paving your own path.
Yeah, and then try if you can to blend them. This is a big deal. Traditions you don't mess with. Because this is the history.
Yeah. This is it. Those are those memories you were talking about.
People die.
Yeah.
People could be serious.
Over tradition.
All right.
Okay, question
Relationship rescues continue.
Number 4 here.
Matt, we need some advice. We're spending this Thanksgiving with my in-laws again, and we've had some problems in the past. A little too much alcohol, swearing, even a few burps. I need to know how to prepare our children for this. Give me some advice.
You know what? Don't you hate Grandma? Grandma bugs. She's got to control herself. But isn't that true? You ever had that at your family? Not you, Brent.
Why are you looking at me? I'm not outing my grandma like you outed your uncle Al.
You know, in some places, a burp's a very nice thing to do at the dinner table.
So it's a compliment.
It shows, hey, that was good, Grammy. You know, that's a tough one. See, I kind of believe that you want your kids to see some of that. I mean, you don't want them to go become a part of it, but to me, that's what makes the holiday is we'd never do all of that stuff, just some of that stuff. We don't do all of that stuff at our house. To me, also, it seems like prepare them, talk about it, just say, remember, when we go to Weird Uncle Al's, you know, this and this could happen, and just know we don't do that, and talk your kids through it. Maybe even if you're strong enough, build a strong enough relationship where you might be able to start pushing back a little bit. Like, can we not have alcoholic beverages the entire day of Thanksgiving? Can we maybe start it after 6?
That was my question. It's okay to push back a little bit if the relationship's solid and strong.
Absolutely. And see, the key to all of this is you can only say something if you have a relationship strong enough to say it. If you're in a really one-down position where you're down below everyone and no one cares about you, no one trusts you, no one believes in you, you can't say much. But the more you have relationships of trust, the more power you have to say stuff. You also probably have more character to say it in the right way.
Okay, we have one more dilemma.
Bring it on.
One more relationship rescue. Here we go, number 5.
Hi, Matt. I was just wondering, after the Thanksgiving dinner, how do you get the men away from the TV?
Golden question of the year.
Huge.
You're in the hot seat now. Give it to us.
I can only think of one way.
Oh!
Pretty much one way. There is one way that you can lure the men away from the television. There's other ways. They're just not as interesting. You know what I might do? For the men, anyway. You know, one thing I might do is I might make a plan.
Okay.
Usually we'll all kind of default to our default habits without a plan. So when you're going to the Thanksgiving party or the dinner or whatever, you might say, look, let's do this. I don't want you to just go go watch TV all night. So why don't we have somebody tend the kids? No, why don't we go on a walk after dinner and just go on a 1-hour walk and go do something that I'm interested in. Then I'll be fine with you sitting and watching TV. But negotiate, but you got to make a plan. Most of us don't. We just kind of wing these things. But I'm telling you, the more we know what we're going to do, the more we can make it even better for all of us.
Make a plan, give a little, take a little. All good advice. Hopefully we've come to your relationship rescue a little bit with Thanksgiving coming up. And of course, if you have questions for Matt, he holds marriage seminars at the Townsend Relationship Center. You can check out more information by visiting his website, marriagemattersutah.com.
And of course,